Tanner Jansen was 4 years old, with sandy hair and a stubborn streak a mile wide. He lived with his mother, Claire, in a small house at the edge of a town that backed up against deep, sprawling woods. Claire worked double shifts at the diner, and Tanner, left in the care of a tired grandmother, had taken to exploring. First the backyard, then the street, then the creek behind the gas station. Each day, a little farther. One Tuesday in October, Tanner did not come home. His grandmother called Claire. Claire called the police. By nightfall, search teams with flashlights carved lines of light through the trees, and the town held its breath. By morning, the story had reached the newsroom at WRX. Gerald McBride was the reporter they sent. Mid-40s, a little rumpled, with a voice made for television and a face made for radio, as he liked to joke. He stood in front of the Jansen house with his camera woman, Deb, and delivered the kind of report that makes people stop what they are doing and listen. A boy was missing. The woods were vast. Time was running out. 2 days passed. The search dogs lost the scent at an old logging road. Gerald filed update after update, each one a little more grim. On the third evening, sitting in the news van, he said it out loud. "I wish I could actually do something, not just talking to a camera." Deb looked at him sideways and said, "You remember Count Mystery?" Gerald blinked. Count Mystery was a horse. A supposedly psychic horse they had done a human interest piece on 2 years ago. The owner, a leathery old man named Dale Fisk, claimed the animal could spell out answers using 26 resettable panels, each marked with a letter of the alphabet. Gerald had smiled politely through the whole segment and privately thought it was nonsense. "You cannot be serious," Gerald said. Deb shrugged. "What have you got to lose?" Gerald stared at the dark woods through the windshield. He could not think of a single good argument against it. The next morning, Gerald drove 40 miles to Dale Fisk's ranch. Dale was delighted. He led Gerald to a weathered barn where Count Mystery stood in a shaft of dusty light, a tall chestnut horse with calm, knowing eyes. Dale explained the system. You ask the question, and the Count walks along the panels and flips the ones he chooses. Nobody touches him, nobody signals him. He just knows. Gerald felt ridiculous, but he asked, "Where is Tanner Jansen?" Count Mystery stood still for a long moment, then walked slowly along the row of panels. One by one, the horse nudged letters into place with his nose. ALIVE. Gerald's pulse quickened despite himself. The horse kept going, WELL, then OLDCAMP, and finally NORTHWEST. Alive. Well, Old Camp, Northwest. Gerald stared at the letters. Dale folded his arms and smiled. Gerald drove back to town faster than the speed limit allowed. Convincing the police was not easy. Sergeant Torres looked at Gerald like he had grown a second head. "A psychic horse, Gerald? Really?" But Deb backed him up, and the sergeant, who had run out of leads 2 days ago, finally agreed to send a small team. They drove northwest past abandoned summer camps and overgrown trails until they found it. A cluster of rotting cabins around a clearing, and in the clearing a stone-lined well half hidden by brush. Sergeant Torres shone a flashlight down the shaft, and there, 10 feet below, sitting on a ledge of crumbled stone, was Tanner Jansen. Dirty, scared, dehydrated, but alive. The boy had wandered into the camp, fallen into the well, and been unable to climb out. Rescuers lowered a harness and brought him up into the afternoon light. Claire Jansen arrived in a patrol car and held her son so tightly that the paramedics had to gently pry her away to check him over. Tanner was going to be fine. The cameras were rolling, of course. In the live shot that evening, a fellow reporter asked Gerald the question everyone wanted answered. "How did you know where to find him?" Gerald looked into the camera with the slightest grin and said, "I got it straight from the horse's mouth." Nobody laughed. They thought he was being modest. And Gerald never did explain further, because some stories, he decided, are better left a little mysterious. Somewhere on a ranch 40 miles away, Count Mystery stood quietly in his barn, flicking his tail at flies, keeping whatever secrets a horse keeps.